Today the theme of our lecture is word formation as a subject of study. Words are divided into smaller units. We call them morphemes. All morphemes are subdivided into roots and affixes. Words consisting of a root and an affix are called derivatives, and derived words are produced by the process of word building. Word formation. Now let's consider some definitions of word formation. The first one. It is the branch of lexicology which studies the patterns on which the English language builds words. Next, word formation. It is the process of creating new words from resources of the language after certain semantic and structural formulas and patterns. And one more definition is that it is one of the ways enriching vocabulary of the language. Let's consider main types of word formation. There are three of them: word derivation, word composition, shortening, and abbreviation. And the word derivation, it is itself divided into two: affixation and conversion. So these were the main types of word formation. Also, we have minor types of word formation. They are sound and stress interchange, back formation, sound imitation, and blending. Word derivation is divided into two groups: affixation and conversion. Affixation, it is the formation of words by adding derivational affixes to bases. Also, affixation, it is one of the most productive ways of word building. Types of affixation. There are three of them: suffixation, prefixation, and mixed affixation. Suffixation, it is the formation of the words with the help of suffixes. Suffixes usually modify the lexical meaning of the base and transfer words to a different part of speech. Together with it, suffixes are classified into different types according to different principles. Now let's analyze these principles. The first one, it is according to lexical-grammatical character of the base. Here we refer deverbal suffixes, denominal suffixes, and the adjectival suffixes. So deverbal suffixes, they are added to the verbal basis, denominal suffixes are added to nominal basis, and the adjectival suffixes, they are added to adjectival basis. Here you may see some examples of suffixes according to the first principle. Next principle, it is according to the part of speech. They are noun forming, adjective forming, numeral forming, verb forming, and adverb forming suffixes. Here you may look at the given examples of suffixes. According to them, we may form parts of speech suffixes. The third principle, it is semantically. Here we will consider monosemantic and polysemantic meanings. Monosemantic, it means that the word has only one meaning. Here we refer the suffix ness. For example, lioness. Here it has this word has only one meaning, and it is formed by means of the suffix ness. Polysemantic, it means that one word may have several meanings. For example, the suffix hood. It may have two meanings. The first one, conditional quality, for example, womanhood. The second meaning, collection or group, for example, brotherhood. Prefixation. It is the formation of words with the help of prefixes. It modifies the lexical meaning of the base. and also prefixation seldom shift words from one part of speech into another. Also, prefixes are classified into different types according to different principles, like suffixation. Yeah? Let's analyze the given principles. The first one is according to lexicogrammatical character of the base. Here we include the verbal prefixes, the nominal prefixes, and the adjectival prefixes. As in the case of suffixation, the verbal prefixes are added to verbal bases, the nominal to nominal bases, and the adjectival prefixes are added to adjectival bases. According to the second principle, it is the class of words formed prefixes. They are noun forming, adjective forming, verb forming, and adverb forming prefixes. There are only a few of them. You may see the given examples from the list of these prefixes. The third is semantically. As usual, here we will analyze monosemantic and polysemantic cases. For monosemantic, we may give the example ex-husband. Yeah? Here we see the prefix ex, and it means former, and it has only one meaning. What about polysemantic? Here we may give the example this, and as you see, it may have three meanings. Yeah? The first meaning, it is not negative form, for example, disadvantage. Next, reversal or absence of action, for example, diseconomy. And the first one, removal of, for example, this branch. Here you see by means of the prefix this, or we may express three different meanings. The next question of our lecture, it is productivity of affixes. We have productive affixes, non-productive affixes. So productive affixes, they take part in deriving new words in modern language. And non-productive affixes, they are not used very often. Here you may see some examples of prefixes and suffixes, of productive and non-productive ones. So now we will make conclusion of our today's lecture. Here you see two columns. The first one about suffixation, the second one the information about prefixation. These two groups are formed into affixation of the English language. So the first statement, suffixes, they are words which are formed with the help of suffixes. What about prefixes? They are formed with the help of prefixes. The next statement, suffixation changes a part of speech meaning. For example, work and worker. Work, it is a verb, and worker, it is a noun. So here you see the change from the verb to the noun. Then next, prefixation doesn't change a part of speech meaning. For example, usual, unusual. These both two words are adjectives. The next statement, suffixation transfers a word into different semantic groups. For example, child, childhood. What about prefixes? There are about 25 prefixes from one part of speech from another. For example, to head, behead. Suffixation is characteristic of noun and adjective formation, and prefixation is characteristic of verb formation. This is the end of our today's lecture. Dear learners, I hope you have had a lot of information about suffixes, prefixes, affixation, word formation, word derivation of the English language. Thanks for your attention.